So, as you can see, we've got majority of the car put together over here. So we've got the engine and gearbox in, we've got the front suspension in.
See that, yes.
We've got the rear suspension in, and we've also got the seats and the seat belts
I
in.
can see my driver's seat waiting for me, yes.
Yeah, just so you can't get away, we put another seat in there so I can sit and make sure you don't steal the car.
Thank you very much.
So along with that, we've got the dashboard. Pretty much all the heart of the car is in now. And what we are left with is to put all the hang-on parts, which is the doors, the bonnet, the fenders, the headlights and the bumper. So why don't we let the guys get working on this, and we can come back and see a completed car.
And can go for a jolly good drive as well.
Why not? Why not?
Looking forward to it.
Do you have your license with you?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. Then no problem.
Cheers. Wow, Sirish, what a transformation it's been from body shell to body wonderful. I must admit it's been one jolly good ride for me, at least in the workshop.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a lot of effort, and you know, the guys do a phenomenal job putting it all together, but we're not quite finished
Yeah,
yet.
I'm seeing the final bit, the tires, and that's an interesting subject as well in motor racing.
Yeah, for sure. Because unlike the regular road Vento, we can't use those tires on this car.
How different is it?
They're very different. These tires are made specifically for us for racing use. But you know what? I think my driver coach, Raymond Banerjee, can explain a lot better. So why don't we ask him?
So right now we are going to talk about something that is the least spoken in the car, but actually one of the most important aspects, the tire. As in the last few seasons, JK Tyre has given us for the 2015 Vento Cup season 2 different tires, a slick which is to be used in dry conditions and a grooved wet tire to be used when it rains. So we have with us over here the 17-inch slick tire that is to be used in the 2015 Vento Cup season. It's provided by JK Tyre, made by them specially for our series, and it's very different from a normal road car tire. The entire car rests on the track with only a surface patch of about the size of my hand, and all the grip is generated only through this contact patch. The more rubber that is in contact with the surface of the road, the more grip that is generated. That is the reason why proper racing tires in the dry do not have any kind of grooves. The wet tire that is going to be used in the 2015 Vento Cup, again made specially for us by JK Tyre. It's a 17-inch as well. The difference between the wet tire and the dry tire, as you can see, are these grooves, specially designed so that this tire generates grip when the track surface is wet. Every time the tire rolls on the ground, the water enters these grooves and is then channelized outwards, and that's how this tire is able to generate a good amount of grip for the cars in the wet. Also important to note that the compound on these tires is slightly different. The rubber is a lot softer, and therefore the tire generates heat much faster. One of the main aspects of the Vento Cup series is that nobody is allowed to make any changes technically to the car. However, there is only one change that the drivers are allowed to do to their cars, and that is tire pressure. This is something that makes a huge difference in the way the car handles. The ideal situation is to get your tire temperatures when they are running hot just perfect. So we give the drivers a range of between 1.8 bar to 3 bar in terms of what tire pressure they can put in the tires, and this is something that affects the car at all times. if a driver pushes his car too hard in a manner that is not correct, what is going to happen is going to heat up his front tires too much, and that in turn is going to result in a lot of tire wear in the front. A lot of tire wear in the front means the tire is going to start giving the drivers problems. It's going to result in understeer, and then it's a cycle. The driver again pushes hard, and it's a mess for him. So it's very important that the driver takes care of his tires. We have allowed a rule where the driver is allowed to take his front tires and put it in the rear. This way the driver will be able to get a good rotation in his tires on his car and spread out the wear between the front tires and the rear tires.
Wow, this is the moment I've been waiting for, that get set go moment where you can sit in the car and just zoom off. But one can safely admit it's been a day full of information and innovation, and particularly imagination as well. But Suresh, now the sights are set on the Buddh International Circuit. That's because Coimbatore was great. The pit stop at Pune at your workshop was fabulous. But now the final 2 rounds are really, really important.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a big change for all the drivers, going from the nice, tiny, compact racetrack of Coimbatore to the wide open spaces of the Buddh International Circuit. It's definitely going to be a daunting task for the rookies to come up to speed, because in Coimbatore it was quite easy for them to learn the lines. There's very compact track, so one line through corners. At Buddh, so wide that you can have 2 or 3 different lines through corners. It's going to be very, very challenging for them. The experienced guys should find it a lot easier because we've got a few guys who've driven there before. I think Karminder has got a lot of laps around there, so I expect him to be quick. And let's see, but we are working on it, because we are going to make sure that we give all these guys a day of testing before
Wonderful.
the 2 weekends.
Wonderful.
To try and give the new guys an experience around the track, so they learn the track and they are not so, you know, I would say, challenged as they would have been otherwise. So yeah, it should be interesting.
Right, now this means that as promised, I deserve my share of drive that you promised earlier in the day, and I really look forward to sitting in your race car and head out as well.
For sure, we've got a race car ready, we've got a tank full of gas, let's go for it.
Right, Sirish, that's been very kind. Thank you very much. And this means that it's time to say goodbye on the show as well. From the entire team at Neo Sports, we'd like to thank all the viewers for tuning in, and also like to thank Sirish and his team at the workshop for being so wonderful.
Our pleasure.
We look forward to your company at the Buddh International Circuit. Till then, it's goodbye and good night.